Are you looking for a moped style e-bike that is definitely going to turn some heads? Well, guys, don't look any further than this Forever Blue Bondi. I mean, this thing is super sexy. I'm so pumped to review it. So, you know what? Let's just get into it. Man, is this one sexy bike. Holy cow. I am so pumped to have this thing. Look at it. It looks like a motorcycle, but it's not. It's a class 3 e-bike, which means you can go up to 20 miles an hour via this thumb throttle here on your right-hand side, or you can get up to 28 miles an hour using your cadence sensor down below and your 5 levels of pedal assist. Now, this bike only weighs 90 pounds, but it does have a payload capacity of 330 pounds. This is the launch edition of this bike, which means you can get this bad boy for only $23.99, and it's going to come with a 1-year warranty. It only comes in one size, which is this right here, and Forever Blue says that the Bondi's average rider height starts at 5'5" and goes up to 6'4". Now, this launch edition version only comes in this color right here, which is black and sage, but I did look at their website, and it looks like they are coming out with a pink and blue version as well. Forever Blue says that the Bondi can go up to 30 miles using throttle only or 50 miles using pedal assist. My question is, how far is it going to go with all the abuse that I'm going to put it through? You know what? We're going to find out in just a minute. The Bondi comes with a 48 volt, 750 watt geared hub motor. It has 1000 watts of peak power and 80 Newton meters of torque. It has a single speed transmission with a 42 tooth chainring. For stopping power, you have a Samayer's 2-piston hydraulic brake system with these super thick 180 millimeter rotors. The front forks are by Trauma. They are these motorcycle hydraulic dual crowns. They have 60 millimeters of travel. You cannot preload them, nor can you lock them out. The Bondi also has a rear 260-pound spring-loaded suspension with 40 millimeters of travel. The spring can be adjusted to meet your riding preference. Look at the tires on this bad boy. Now, they're non-branded, but they're 20 by 4 inch, and they have these crazy super thick knobbies on them that are going to be great for any sort of terrain, and they're puncture resistant. When it comes to the battery on this bike, well, it's this part right here. It looks like the gas tank of the bike, but this is a 48 volt, 15 amp hours with 711.75 watt hours of power. It does have the 21700 Samsung cells in it, so it has the really good ones. And you can charge it up with this charging port right here on the back. As you can see, it is this nice big area right here. This is your charging port, and it also has a USB-C port, so you can charge your phone or any other attachments. It will come with a 2 amp charger, which means you can charge this bike up from 0 to 100% in about 7 to 8 hours. Now, you can charge this battery while it's on the bike, or you can take it off and charge it somewhere else. It's going to come with 2 keys. You're going to put a key in there, twist it forward, and then you can just pull the battery right on out. It is super simple. It does have this charging button right here, so you can see how much power the battery has whenever it's not on the bike. As you can see, we have a full one. All you gotta do is slap it back in there and it locks on its own. The Bondi has 2 UL certifications. It has the UL2271 for the battery and the UL2849 for the bike. It also has an IP rating of 5, which means it is protected from dust and low pressure water jets from any angle. This section of the bike right here is actually a storage section, and you just unzip it and it has a lot of room. You have this mesh to keep it from moving around, that you can store some things in here like a lock or stuff like that. And then you just close it up and zip it. But it is a really cool look for this bike. There are a lot of unique features with this bike, and this section right here is absolutely one of them. This is the first bike that I have reviewed where you can adjust the height of the seat by 2 inches. Currently, it is set up at 32 inches from the ground. By releasing these 2 bolts from each side, you can drop this thing down 2 inches to where it'll only be sitting at 30 inches tall. This is great for those shorter riders. Additional features include metal fenders, aluminum pedals, a double chainring guard, elongated seat, accessory mounting points, and these BMX style handlebars. Now, there are a couple of accessories that you can purchase to add on to this bike. Right here is this secondary fender. This thing looks totally cool. And we also added this rack right here on the back. One thing that I did not have come in is they do have a little holder here so where you can put panniers on the back of this bike. All of these three things have to be purchased separately. Let's talk about size and fit. Now, when you first look at this bike, it definitely looks like it's longer than other moped style e-bikes, and it is. It is 72 inches in total length. And I've already come over and we've talked about how you can drop this seat from 32 inches down to 30, but I didn't tell you how long this seat is. The seat itself is 15.75 inches in length. Now, I'm 5'9", I have a 32-inch inseam, and you can make some adjustments when it comes to these handlebars, forward or back, depending on what's going to feel more comfortable for you. Or you can move up on the seat some, move back a little bit if you are a taller person. Either way, you should be able to get it to where it's super comfortable for you. Since this is a full suspension e-bike, well, we should have a pretty good time off-road. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have a double locking grip. It does have different grooves and patterns within the grip, so that should feel pretty nice. Right here is your front brake lever, and then this is your control pad. To turn the bike on, you're just going to hold down this power button right here until your display lights up. Now I have to show you this super cool part of the bike. Every time you turn it on, it turns on your daytime running lights. And this has 160 lux. Then it also has an LED bar that comes down on both sides of the bike. This is your display. It is full color. Not only does it give you a battery indicator right here, but it tells you the percentage. We'll throw that last percentage in there before we take off on our trip. You will get some information here, like your trip mileage, your overall odometer, the watts you're putting out, which is definitely going to come in handy. This is going to tell you your speed, and this is your pedal assist levels. To bounce through your various pedal assist levels, you're just going to use your up and down button right here to go up and level. Well, we're just going to hit the up button right there. We got normal, power, sport low, sport normal. And you just use the bottom button to go back down all the way to off. With some displays, whenever you hit the power button again real quick, it gives you different information. But with this one, what you see on the screen is what you get. To turn the headlights on, you're just going to hold the up button until your headlight comes on. It's also going to give you this indicator, and your screen's going to dim. To turn the headlight off, you're just going to hold the up button again until your screen lights up. Your headlight is this bar that is above your daytime running lights. It has 4 bulbs in it, and it produces an extra 220 lux. This is your tail light that comes on whenever you turn on your headlights, and this is what happens when you hit the brake lights. It just gets brighter. And then when you go ahead and turn your headlights off, well, the brake light functionality still works. To reset your trip, I'm going to hold the minus button and the power button down at the same time, and it clears out your trip. On the right-hand side, you have your rear brake lever right here. This is your throttle, and it also comes with a bell. Let's talk about advanced settings. You're going to hold your plus and minus button down, and it's going to take you into this secondary screen that has a password. To make any changes to this screen, you would need the password from the company. I've reached out to them a couple of times. They will not give me the password. So just know that when you purchase this bike, you're going to get it how it is. You will not be able to make any adjustments or changes to the bike. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some safety features. I'm going to add my half knee bar and mirror here on the side, and then we're going to put a strobing light on this bike while we're out in traffic, and then we're going to see how it performs. We are on the 606 trail. Today's high is only going to be 32, so that means that this review is going to be a cold weather review. And right now we are riding the bike in pedal assist 0. It is a single speed, so you can't lower the gearing on this bike. And I can tell you right now that it is not a fun bike to ride with 0 pedal assist and 0 power. I wonder, does the throttle work when it's in? Nope. The throttle will not work when you're in pedal assist 0. Let's go ahead and test the throttle out. I'm going to go ahead and put it into pedal assist 1 and see if it is limited to your pedal assist levels. Let's go ahead and hit the throttle. Takes off pretty quick. I like how it takes off. I can tell, man, I'm really digging this bike, but we are shooting up in speed here. We are cranking, we're already at 19 miles an hour. And the throttle, as they advertise, will only take you up to 20 miles an hour. All right, let's go ahead and check out the pedal assist levels just by riding the bike. No throttle. I have it in pedal assist number 1. And actually, This thing must have shorter crank arms on it because this is pretty easy to pedal. I don't feel like my knees are going up into my chest like I would with other moped style e-bikes. Now you're not going to go really fast. We're only doing about 7.8 miles in pedal assist number 1. Let's go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 2. You feel it kick in a little bit faster. And in pedal assist number 2, we're going to be doing 11.7 miles an hour. Let's go for 3. At this point, you are going to start to ghost pedal. So just slow down your cadence and you can let the bike just crank up to what it needs to crank up to. And it looks like 16.7 miles an hour is what we get for pedal assist number 3. Let's go for 4. And pedal assist number 4 has me cruising at 22 miles an hour. Ooh, got to drop this visor. My eyes are starting to leak. Let's go for pedal assist number 5. And my top speed is 25 miles an hour in pedal assist number 5. So with 25 miles an hour being our top speed, well, this bike should get some pretty decent range. I mean, I feel like the battery on this bike is kind of small, but, you know, if it's efficient, we're going to be good. But as I'm looking down, it shows that we've already dropped to 90% on the battery, and we've just started. We've only gone 1.8 miles so far. All right, let's take a look at the speedometer here. It shows that we're going a little bit slower on the display than what we are on the speedometer here. So you're literally going to be going a mile faster than what it shows on the display. Let's go ahead and do a speed test here. We're going to do throttle only. Let's go ahead and see how quick it's going to get up to that 20 miles an hour. And it looks like our top speed, oh, okay. It seems that the bike really is going to hold 19 miles an hour, which is actually 20. So let's go ahead and try that again. I was trying to hit 20, but I must have been going down a hill when I hit it last time. Let's go ahead and give it a shot and see how quick we're going to take off to get to that 19 miles an hour on the display. I mean, we're shooting up pretty quick, and it doesn't really matter what gear you're in, and there it is. Boom, in like 11 seconds. Now we're going to see how quick we can get up to 25 miles an hour by using only pedal assist. We have it in pedal assist number 5, and let's go. Oh, that first crank is hard to go, but it does kick in really quick. We didn't even make it kicked in within a half of rotation. And let's see. I mean, I'm pushing on the cranks here, trying to help it get there. Oh, let's go. And then I'm slowing down my cadence because I can't keep up. And there it is. 25, but we started going down a hill a little bit. Either way, it takes a bit to get there. No big deal, though. This bike ride's really nice. Wow. Great job. It is brake test time. We're going to do it in 2 different versions. We're going to do one at 20 miles an hour throttle only. And then number 2, we're going to do it at full speed using pedal assist. So let's go ahead and see how this bad boy is going to stop. Ooh, felt pretty good. We're right at 18 feet. I'm liking these tires. I'm liking a lot of stuff about this bike. I mean, this thing handles very nice. All right, round 2. Get some pedaling going. Get her cranking. There we go. Oh, 26. So basically, we were doing about 26 miles an hour when I hit the brakes. So you're going to stop within every mile an hour that you go. That's how many feet you're going to stop. So that's pretty good, except unless you're going slower and it'll stop in a shorter amount of time. But if you're doing 26 miles an hour, it's going to stop within 26 feet. Yeah, I'm liking this. You know, when I first saw this bike, I thought I was going to be spending most of my time doing nothing but throttling this bike around. But I have to tell you what, I am really enjoying pedaling this moped style e-bike, and that is not something I say. Also not something I expected to happen, but this is the easiest pedaling moped style e-bike that I have reviewed. So when you're talking about my initial thoughts, well, that's a big one. There are quite a few people out on this 606 trail today, so we're definitely going to do what we've got to do to get off of it, to get out of these people's way, and doing a little off-roading. I mean, these tires are definitely made for it. This full suspension is definitely made for it. So I know we're going to be doing a little bit more off-roading with this bike, but man, I already feel like I can take this bike anywhere. This seat is not that thick, but I'm not really sure it needs to be. So far, I find the seat comfortable. We're going to find out by the end of this review if it is still comfortable, but for now, it's not too wide, it's not too thin, and it's not too narrow. We're going to find out if it's too thin, but so far, everything is working great. I'm really enjoying how this bike rides and how it pedals. It stops great. And I think it looks so cool. The only thing that concerns me about it right now is how this battery is dropping so quickly. We're already down to 74%. I'm not even sure we can make it out to Lakeshore Trail after I go ahead and do some hill climbing with it and off-road stuff. And maybe I'll have to do the sand test out here instead of taking it to the lake. I don't know. I mean, I know this bike's going to do excellent on sand, no matter if it's thick or thin or deep or loose. I mean, I just know it's going to be excellent for that, but the battery power, I think, is going to be the main thing. I might end up having to figure out a way to put a second battery on this bike. It is time to do some off-roading. Let's go ahead and go see how this full suspension works. Oh, there we go. All right, I can tell the back one's working just fine. This front one, though, I feel it like, it's like chunky, right? It's not that smooth. The front forks are not. Woo-hoo. But overall, we're still just tearing through it. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm still comfortable. Just not sure. Maybe these front forks just have to break in a bit. I mean, there's no adjustments that you can put on them. But riding through all of that was still... It still felt pretty good. I would still take this bike off-road anywhere. Now, would I put it on a single track? No, absolutely not. It's the turning radius on this bike isn't that great because of the dual crown that's on it. So I wouldn't want to put it on a single track. It is time for the hill climb. We are at the Hill of Pain. It goes from 18 degrees up to 20 degrees. We're going to see how this bike handles by doing just throttle only and see if it's going to have any issues making it up this hill. And right now, we are sliding around a little bit. It is a little bit slippery coming up. These knobbies are they're big. So maybe they're not grabbing as well as I thought they might be going up this hill. But we did make it up doing about 8 miles an hour. Was the fastest that we were doing. I think these tires are just going to take a little bit to get used to. I'm used to smaller knobbies when it comes to these bikes. Now we're going to go ahead and try it again, but just using pedal assist. I have it in pedal assist number 5. Kick in, baby. There we go. All right, now we are doing some moving. It feels like it's going... it feels like, you're getting more assist whenever you do that. We're not really going that much faster. It was about 10 miles an hour total. So we only went up about a mile or two faster going up the hill. So I'm guessing whenever you see a hill that you might want to just go ahead and pedal through it. Although we didn't have any issues either way. Let's go ahead and do the sand test. I know this bike is going to do excellent in it. You can see where somebody else has been out here as well. So let's go ahead, give her some juice and see how this bike does. And we're not even pedaling at all. I figured with these big knobbies and all of that, this bike would do excellent in the sand. And I mean, we're just cruising all the way out here. It's getting squirrely, but it's a good time. Let's go. Oh, this thing is just too heavy. There we go. Get it up a little bit. Yeah, man, this bike is not going to have any issues when it comes to taking it out on the sand. So not only can you take this bike to the beach, but you can 100% take it through the beach. We are already at 49% battery power, and we have gone 7.5 miles. So this bike is definitely not one that you would want to take on a long distance. Let's go ahead and hit the stop along. This has been known to have one of the best smash burgers in the city. As we stop in here for lunch, it has 40% battery power. We're going to see what happens in about a half hour when I come back out after lunch and see if we're still at 40%. Let's go ahead and see where we are at with this, and it's still holding at 40%. Okay. We are back on the road, and I have to tell you that even just using throttle is super nice with this bike. So it does have two options. You can either just ride it like a normal bike or use throttle, and either way, this bike is a blast to ride. Now, one thing about riding here in cold weather is that you do not get as much distance out of your battery because batteries don't like the cold. And we are below freezing. I checked the temps. It is 31 degrees. Overall, it feels pretty good. We don't have a ton of wind, which is good because normally it drops down the wind chill drops down the temps like a huge amount. But right now it's showing that the wind chill is at 26 degrees. So that's not bad at all. I figured I would spend a little bit just riding around on throttle to see how that feels. I have been pedaling most of the time with this bike, and that's fine. I mean, this bike pedals excellent, but sometimes you just want to throttle around. I know it's going to make the battery go, even a shorter distance. So we're doing everything that the battery doesn't like, and we're just seeing how it handles. All of the moped style e-bikes that I have ridden before this one has either like a quarter twist or a half twist throttle. I am a fan of thumb throttles, and so I am digging using this thumb throttle on this bike. Hey guy, you dropped your key. See if I can get this guy his key. Hey, you dropped your key. I tried to get you when you took off.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, that's probably to your lock, right? Yeah, no worries. Have a good day. We have gone 12.3 miles and we have dropped down to 18% battery power. So we are going to start to head home as I'm not really sure how far this bike will go. For most of this ride, I have kept this bike at pedal assist number 3, and that is where I have felt pretty comfortable riding it around at that speed. But we are still dropping. So, we would be dropping a ton more if we kept it in pedal assist number 5. Right now, we are 3.3 miles from the house. We're down to 11% battery power. And as fast as this battery drains, I'm totally wondering if we're going to make it. Let's go ahead and see if this bike has a walk feature. Went ahead and put it all the way down into pedal assist here. Let me hold the button here. And look, it does have a walk feature. And it's pretty quick, actually. I still have it in pedal assist number 3. We're only cruising at about 12, 13 miles an hour. You got to remember that this bike is doing 1 mile an hour faster than what it shows on the display. The only thing I can hear on this bike is the tires. It's been that way the entire time. The motor is super quiet on this bike. I have made it back, and I have to tell you what, I've enjoyed riding. This is probably my favorite moped style e-bike. This is more like an e-moto. But I would say that, but it is so easy to pedal. This is the easiest pedaling moped style e-bike that I have reviewed. And because of that, instead of just throttling it around, I'm enjoying pedaling this bike. Now, let's talk about the mileage. When you take a look at the display showed that we went 17 miles. We also had 3% battery left, so I believe it could have gone another 2 or 3. I just didn't want to risk it because I did not feel like riding this bike and pedaling it without power. That is definitely no fun. Now, when I took a look at Strava shows that we went 17.85 miles. And if you remember during the review, the display shows that we go 1 mile slower than what we're actually going. So because of that, Strava is going to show us the correct distance. And just, keep it in mind that whenever you're tracking your distance on the display, that you're actually going farther than what it shows. Also, when it came to the mileage, I ended up keeping this bike out on the sand more than you guys saw in the review. I was trying to do some cool B-roll stuff with my drone. So because of that, this bike spent more time on the sand, which it drains the battery of these bikes whenever I do that. I also did some more off-roading stuff to get some cool B-roll for you guys. That also hurts the battery. So I'm gonna end up doing another video where I just do a distance test with this bike. No weird stuff. I'm just gonna take it through the town. I'm also gonna wait till it gets a little warmer. I mean, it's under freezing, so that's not good on the battery. Batteries don't like that. So when it gets warmer, we're gonna do a distance test with this bike, and we're gonna get like a true distance test out of it. Plus, I'd like to do another video just where I'm just taking it off road, because I've enjoyed taking this bike off road so much. I mean, I'm keeping this bike for a while. You're definitely going to see it in other videos. I just love the way this thing looks, man. The X on the front, the LED lighting going down the side, and just this rear fender part. I mean, this thing just looks, it just looks kick-ass, guys. I mean, if you want a really cool looking moped style e-bike that is legal, right? Because it is a class 3, it doesn't go fast, it only does like 26 miles an hour. You're going to do 20 via the throttle. If you're looking for something like that, this bike looks like it goes faster than what it will, then you definitely want to get and check out the Forever Blu Bondi. I'm going to leave a link down in the description below, take you right where you need to be. If I have a discount code, I'm putting it down there as well. So if this bike is not for you and you are thinking that you want something else, well, guess what? YouTube knows what you like to see. And you know how I know? Because they're going to throw it up right there. That's right. YouTube thinks that you should watch this video next. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride.